Hi, my name is Alice Kwan.
And my name's Joanne Moon.
And we're going to be presenting the time period starting from 2001 to present day.
We're going to break it down by presidencies and create a political and societal timeline for each presidency. Then we'll discuss the significance of each session of the time period and how they have affected the development of the U.S. Let's get started. The first time period is from 2001 to 2009, and the president was George Bush and the vice president was Dick Cheney. So the first major event in this time period occurred in September 11, 2001. 3,000 Americans were killed in a terrorist attack from a series of airline hijackings and suicide attacks on the World Trade Center, Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and in Pennsylvania. 9/11 was carried out by 19 people associated with the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda. In response to this event, Bush launched the War on Terror, an American-led global campaign against terrorism. He formed the Department of Homeland Security and sent U.S. forces into Afghanistan to break up the Taliban. This kick-started the Afghanistan War in 2001 until NATO ended combat operations in 2014. And on October 26, 2001, the USA Patriot Act is passed to deter and punish terrorist acts in the U.S. Another part on the war on terror is the Iraq War that started in 2003 to overthrow the government of Saddam Hussein, and the war in northwest Pakistan that began in 2004 as the Pakistan Army attempted to drive out Al-Qaeda and the Taliban of Waziristan.
Many of the societal events that occurred during this time period and still affect us today are technological, as the world has become more digitally advanced throughout history. For instance, in 2001, Wikipedia was launched, and now it's the 5th most popular website. In 2001, Apple's iPod and iTunes launched, allowing users to have a portable music digital player. A major societal event that occurred in 2004 is the emergence of Web 2.0 that allowed users to interact and collaborate with others, unlike in Web 1.0. And the popularity of social media networks grew, with MySpace and LinkedIn gaining prominence in the early 2000s. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter emerged in the following years and have become immensely popular social media platforms today, helping businesses and connecting people worldwide. However, there are some negative societal impacts throughout this time period. The Virginia Tech shooting occurred on April 16, 2007, when a student named Seung-Hee Cho shot 49 people on campus, then proceeded to shoot himself. This massacre is the deadliest school shooting in the U.S., and at the time it was the deadliest mass shooting committed by a lone gunman in the U.S. This event led to debates on U.S. gun control, privacy laws, and mental health, since Cho had been diagnosed with many mental health disorders, but was still legally allowed to purchase guns.
The most influential events within this time period were 9/11 and the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. 9/11 was the event that completely changed national security that's still in effect today. Airport security became even more strict, more money went into national defense and security, and of course, fear ensued the whole nation. 9/11 also sparked Islamophobia in America, the perpetual fear and discrimination towards people who are Muslims. Our military involvement is still prominent in Afghanistan and Iraq, though we did pull a lot of troops out of there. But as long as extreme religious groups keep on terrorizing their countries, the U.S. unfortunately isn't going anywhere. In regards to technological innovations and the growing online community, society positively shifted, as almost everyone can communicate from almost anywhere and capture and document events or search up anything at any time. This next time period starts in 2009 and ends in 2017 throughout the 2 terms of the first African-American president, Barack Obama. Obama achieved some major milestones for U.S. history. He passed many acts that positively impacted America, the first of which was on January 2009 with the Fair Pay Act, which addressed the differences in pay based on gender. On October 2009, the Hate Crimes Prevention Act was passed, expanding on the federal hate crime law to include crimes motivated by a person's gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, race, and religion. On December 2010, the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act was passed to improve child nutrition for millions of children. On March 2010, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was passed, aiming to provide Americans with access to affordable health insurance. On September 11, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy is repealed, allowing gay and lesbian people to openly serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. On June 2012, the Defend Action for Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program, was formed, providing temporary protections to undocumented migrants who came to America as children, and allows them to have the right to live, study, and work in America. And finally, on June 2015, same-sex marriage was legalized in the Obergefell and Hodges Supreme Court decision. All these achievements under Obama were positive as they attempted to achieve equal rights for all. Another event under Obama is the capture and death of Osama bin Laden on May 2nd, 2011. He was the founder and first leader of the Islamic group Al-Qaeda, and he was killed in Pakistan, ending a 10-year search after the 9/11 attacks on the U.S. Although it did not solve the issue of terrorism, it was a major milestone for the war on terror and provided closure for many people after the 9/11 attacks. In October 2013, there was a 16-day government shutdown due to the controversial opinions on Obamacare. In addition, the leak of the NSA documents happened in which whistleblower Edward Snowden revealed the massive surveillance system of the government and sparked debates on privacy, internet freedom, and basic liberty. There were many societal developments along with the increase of environmental awareness. The BP oil spill occurred in September 2010 and is considered to be one of the worst marine environmental disasters in U.S. history, prompting massive responses to protect beaches, seas, and the environment as a whole. Some other major societal tragedies include the 2012 Colorado shooting and Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013, and the Orlando nightclub shooting in 2016. More organizations concerning social justice were developed during this time as well. After the unjust death of Trayvon Martin, an African-American teen who was shot by a policeman in February 2012, the Black Lives Matter movement began in 2013 with the hashtag Black Lives Matter on social media. They focus on racial profiling, police brutality, and the systematic racism within the U.S. criminal justice system.
In this time period, people are becoming more aware of mass shootings due to social media platforms and the abundance of news channels that use tragic events to further strengthen their own political agenda. However, the federal government fails to create laws that regulate the commerce of guns. In addition, Obama's most prominent laws in the acts, the ACA, DACA, and Paris Agreement, they don't have a big impact on us today since President Trump reversed them. Social media is now becoming a huge platform for everyone. However, the world of social media is becoming a source of information that more kids are turning to instead of going to reliable sources.
All right, so this next time period is from 2017 to present day. The president is Donald Trump, and our vice president is Mike Pence. So, in the start of his presidency, Trump suspends all U.S. refugee programs and puts a 90-day ban on refugees from Syria, anyone arriving from Iraq, Syria, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, except for certain visa categories such as diplomats. Then, on February 2017, Michael Flynn, Trump's national security advisor, resigns over allegations that he discussed U.S. sanctions with Russia before Donald Trump took office. Conversations about our relations with Russia are wildly popular today. In March 2017, Trump signs the Energy Independence Executive Order, basically undoing Obama's climate change policies. Following that, the Republican health care bill was passed. Trump claims that Obamacare is dead. So, in the start of his presidency, Trump suspends all U.S. refugee programs and puts a 90-day ban on refugees from Syria, anyone arriving from Iraq, Syria, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, except for certain visa categories such as diplomats. Then, on February 2017, Michael Flynn, Trump's national security advisor, resigns over allegations that he discussed U.S. sanctions with Russia before Donald Trump took office. Conversations about our relations with Russia are wildly popular today. In March 2017, Trump signs the Energy Independence Executive Order, basically undoing Obama's climate change policies. Following that, the Republican health care bill was passed. Trump claims that Obamacare is dead. In June of 2018, Trump meets Kim Jong-un. Our relations with North Korea have never been better, so I gotta give that to Trump. But through December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019 was the U.S.'s longest government shutdown because Trump wanted to have $5.7 billion in order to build the wall. Congress refused, and then Trump shut down the government for border security reasons.
Some more tragic events during this time period include the 2017 Las Vegas shooting, the deadliest mass shooting committed by an individual in the history of the U.S., leading to the ban of bump stocks. Not long after, in February 2018, the Parkland shooting occurred at Stoneman Douglas High School, making it the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history. The students at Stoneman Douglas High School founded Never Again MSD, an advocacy group that lobbies for legislative action on gun violence. On March 9th, a bill was signed that raised the minimum age for buying rifles from 18 to 21, to which the NRA immediately filed a lawsuit challenging the age change. This interaction demonstrates how the government and business are largely intertwined. In addition, on March 24th, thousands of people nationwide gathered in Washington, D.C. to protest with the Parkland survivors against gun violence in the March for Our Lives. To immigration, the Trump administration states that they want to end the DACA program, support the U.S.'s estimated 11 million undocumented people, and build a wall along the border with Mexico. Millions protested with a hashtag #NoBan, and hashtag #WallsDon'tWork movement on social media to protest against Trump's plan for border. Global warming pollution intensified over the years with events such as the BP oil spill to the collapse of the Larsen B ice shelf in Antarctica in 2018. The environmental conservation movement grew rapidly in recent times. Many other teens and millennials globally are starting to get involved as popular hashtags on social media such as hashtag Save the Turtles are spreading and minimalistic lifestyles are becoming more mainstream. Another movement that is gaining momentum is the fourth wave feminism. The fourth wave, 2008 to present day, consists of women's marches in Washington, a record number of women preparing to run for office, as well as the Me Too movement, which spread rapidly throughout late 2017 in social media, as countless victims share their struggles with sexual harassment and abuse, demonstrating the magnitude of the issue. And most recently, the controversial issue of abortion laws arose as Alabama and 7 other states placed a near-total ban on abortion, sparking massive controversy and making many women protest across the U.S.
Alright, so why is this time period important? Well, obviously these events are relevant because they happened recently. For mass shootings, some laws have been enforced, mostly with states to put more restrictions on buying guns. Then a nationwide ban on bump stocks was enforced after the Parkland shooting. This is a major step for the people who want more laws for gun control, but many go against gun control laws because it's violating their Second Amendment rights. There have also been many movements and marches on both the right and left side. In August of 2017, the neo-Nazi Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville happened in response to the removal of Confederate monuments in public areas. Some other marches and movements were the March for Our Lives and the Women's March, both in D.C. The significance of these movements is the amount of younger participants in these marches. As information is accessible to the younger audiences through media platforms, many movements regarding social justice mainly have been fueled by Gen Zers and millennials. Recently, there's been a lot of concern for the environment from the younger generations as well. Many green organizations have utilized social media platforms to reach, again, a young audience so the issue will be more well known. The most recent debate is with Alabama's near total abortion laws. This law creates questions concerning the privacy of women's bodies, the separation between the church and state laws, and if this law is unconstitutional as a whole. As we become more divided with our political and moral views across America, will we be able to listen to each other and solve our issues, or will we just point fingers and demonize the other sides? I don't know, but let's see what happens. This concludes our time period. Hopefully you guys learned a little something, and thank you for watching. Bye!